Hi there, I'm Mike Gales for Everlast Nutrition, and I often get asked, what if I don't have access to some exercise equipment? Or perhaps you're nursing an injury and you're looking for an alternative to lifting some weights. Or maybe you have limited mobility. Well, over the next couple of videos, I'm going to put together a couple exercise routines that you can do using nothing but some resistance bands and a chair. Now this will be great if you don't have access to equipment, or if you have limited mobility and find it very difficult to get around, because we're going to do everything sitting right here. So just grab your resistance bands, have a seat, and follow along.
So why the chair? Well, there are tons of videos out there on resistance band routines that will have you attaching the bands to hooks or over doors, around doorknobs, or even doing squats and lunges using the bands. And those are all great if you're in shape to do it. But in the past, I have trained many people who have had limited mobility or who had been inactive for such a long time that exercise became a problem. So instead of doing all those advanced resistance band routines, we're going to do something simple but extremely effective. And no matter what shape you're in or what injuries you have, you can do this routine because we're never going to get out of the chair. I like to train people using resistance bands because, for one, they're cheap. I'm using the Everlast medium resistance band that go for around 15 bucks. The bands are also safe, especially if you're injured, because you won't be moving any heavy weights around. And you're going to realize after watching this video that I'm going to show you that the bands can be easily manipulated to give you an awesome workout. The main focus of this routine will be to get some blood flow going through those muscles of yours. And we're going to add a little bit of strength and flexibility to those muscles at the same time. We're going to shoot for 20 repetitions of each exercise. And we're going to rest for 30 seconds between each exercise. Now don't worry if you can't do 20 repetitions and you can only do 4 or 5. You just do what you can. Those higher numbers will come in time, I promise. I'm also going to show you a couple different variants of certain exercises just in case you're injured. I want to make it so that you understand that even if you're only doing 1 or 2 repetitions, and even if it's only with one arm, that a little bit of something is always better than a whole lot of nothing. So let's get to it. Routine 1, the upper body. You can click on the description in the link below to check out routine 2, which will be for your lower body. We're going to kick off this upper body routine by working your shoulders. And we're going to start off specifically with your rear deltoid, which most people seem to neglect. Hopefully you are seated comfortably in your chair. Hold your resistance band out in front of you at about shoulder level. Adjust the tension of your resistance band by adjusting the length. I am going to wrap the band around my hands one time. With your palms facing towards the floor, use the muscles of your rear shoulder to pull the band apart. Keep your elbows slightly bent and at about the height of your shoulders. As you inhale on the eccentric phase, as your hands come together, and exhale on the concentric phase, as you use the muscles of your rear delts to stretch the band. If that was too easy for you and you're looking to up the intensity, then you can double up the resistance band like so. Now keep in mind we're going to shoot for 20 repetitions with a 30-second break in between exercises. Next up, we're going to hit the mid-fibers of your shoulder with some side lateral raises. Place the band under the seat of your chair. Keep a slight bend at your elbows, your palms facing down. Raise your elbows until they're about the height of your shoulders. If that was too easy for you, then place the band on the floor. Place one foot in the center of the band to add resistance. If you're looking to up the tension, then use both feet and space your feet accordingly along the band until you achieve the resistance that you desire. Keep control of your motion. You want to stay nice and smooth, no ballistic movements. Remember to keep a slight bend at the elbow and lift up those elbows until they're about parallel with the floor. And with your palms facing down, inhale on the eccentric phase as you lower your arms, and exhale as you use the muscles of your shoulders to stretch out the band. If you find these a little too difficult, or if you have an arm that's completely injured, then do one arm at a time. And if one arm is injured, then train the arm that isn't injured. And remember that doing something is always better than doing absolutely nothing. Let's move on to work the anterior fibers of our shoulder with some front raises. Use your foot to step on the middle of the band. You can increase the tension by using both feet if you wish. Remember to keep it smooth and controlled. Keep a slight bend at the elbow. Raise up those arms until those elbows are parallel to the floor out in front of you. Inhale on the eccentric phase and exhale on the concentric phase as you use the muscles of the front of your shoulder to stretch out the band. Let's move on to the shoulder press. Now in the beginning, if you're not certain, place the band under the seat of the chair. Then lift up your arms overhead, but the band must go behind your arms. Have your elbows facing out and your palms facing forward. And then use the muscles of your shoulder to stretch out the band as you press up and bring your hands together. Inhale in the eccentric phase and exhale as you use those muscles of your shoulders to stretch out that band. If you are injured or find this too difficult, then use the same procedure but only use one arm at a time. Keep the arm that is not working hanging on to the other end of the band and resting comfortably by your side. Next up, we're going to work your chest, and we're going to start that with a flat press. Pull this off, place the band behind the back of your chair. Have your elbows flared out and your palms facing down. Bring in the handles of the bands until they touch your mid-outer chest, and then press them out. Now, if that was not intense enough for you, place the band behind your back and then crisscross it around the back of the chair like so. Keep the band on top of your arms. Inhale in the eccentric phase as you bring the band in, and exhale as you use the muscles of your chest to press out. Keep your hands at a level that sees them staying about the height of your mid-chest. Next, we're going to do a flat fly. Start out with the band in the same configuration as you used for the press, but now you're going to have your palms face each other. You're going to keep your elbows bent. You want to picture yourself using the muscles of your chest to bring your arms together as if you're hugging a large tree. And once again, if you're having any difficulty, or if you have one arm that's injured, then do this just one arm at a time, and using only the uninjured arm if you have to. Next, we're going to hit the muscle fibers of your upper chest. But to do that, we're going to need to switch the configuration of the band. Place the resistance band under the chair and then crisscross it behind the back legs of the chair. Once you have firmly grasped the handles, make sure that the band goes over the top of your arms. Remember to have your palms facing down with your elbows out. Press up until your hands are at about the level of your eyes. Inhale in the eccentric phase as you bring your arms in, and exhale in the concentric phase as you use the muscles of your upper chest to press out. This may be a little too tough for some of you because we have crisscrossed the bands behind the chair. And if that is the case, then place one arm down by your hip, and that will relieve a bit of the tension so that you can press using one arm at a time. We're going to finish off your upper chest with another fly motion. Use the same configuration for the band as you did for the upper chest press. That's under your seat and crisscrossed behind the rear legs of the chair. Have your palms facing each other, keep your elbows bent the whole time, and squeeze using the muscles of your upper chest as you move your arms like you're hugging a big tree. Alright, scratch chest and shoulders off the list. And now we're going to move on to training your arms, and we're going to start with your biceps. Remember that anything is always better than nothing. If you have to, adjust the tension by altering the length of the band between your foot on the floor and your arm, and curl using only one arm at a time if you need to. But if you're able, let's start out this routine using both arms simultaneously with some tandem bicep curls. Use one foot to step on the middle of the band, and if that's not intense enough for you, then use both of your feet and adjust their width until you achieve the desired tension. If you can, then use both arms at the same time. Start with your elbows bent, and keep those elbows tucked in by your side. Have your palms facing up, and use those biceps of yours to curl up and stretch out the band. Now, if that was not intense enough for you, then put the band behind your back and then crisscross it underneath the seat of your chair, like so. Keep those elbows in as you inhale on the eccentric phase to weigh down, and exhale on the concentric phase as you use your biceps to stretch out the band. For our little routine, you're going to do one set of the tandem curls, then rest for about 30 seconds. Then you're going to do one set of alternate curls that sees you focusing on one arm at a time. And remember, that's 20 reps for each arm. If you find that doing those two bicep exercises gets a little monotonous after a while, then throw in this concentration curl to switch things up. So if you're looking for something different, then here you go. Place the band under the seat of your chair and go around the two front legs. Then place one handle behind your calf on the same side of the body as the arm that you're about to train. Adjust the length of the band until you achieve the desired resistance. Have your palms facing up, and for this one you're going to want to keep your elbow placed up against your inner thigh. And don't forget to breathe as you use those biceps to stretch out that resistance band for 20 reps each arm. After you have done two bicep exercises for 20 reps each, we're going to continue training your arms by moving on to your triceps. So if you can, we're going to start out with an overhead triceps extension. Place the band under the seat of your chair, and then the band's going to go behind the back of the chair. You want to grip the handles with your palms facing towards the ceiling and keep your elbows as close to your head as comfortably possible. You're going to notice that the trick to really isolating your triceps is to not move those elbows. You're going to inhale on the eccentric phase as you lower the band, and exhale on the concentric phase as you use those triceps to stretch the band out. If this was too difficult, then lower one arm to ease the tension, and try doing each arm independently for 20 reps. And if you can't do that, then no worries, let's move on to something else. Next, we'll try a triceps pull down. Adjust the length of your band to the desired tension, and then place your hand upon the opposite shoulder, like so. On the arm that is working, you're going to have your palms facing the floor, and you're going to extend that resistance band using the muscles of your triceps. Try doing both arms. The trick to isolating that tricep again is to keep that shoulder joint and elbow stationary, and only your forearm moves as your tricep muscle extends the band. Inhale on the eccentric phase as the band comes up, and exhale on the concentric phase as you squeeze those triceps and extend the band. If you couldn't do the first exercise, the overhead tricep extension, then try these kickbacks as your second exercise choice. To configure the band, you're going to need to wrap it around one foot, like so. Lean forward slightly, and place the other hand on your thigh. Keep that elbow tucked in as you use your triceps to kick back the band. If you're looking to increase the intensity, then try doing both arms simultaneously for 20 reps. Remember to lean forward slightly and don't move that elbow. And don't forget to breathe as you do two exercises for 20 reps each for those triceps. Well done! Now we're going to finish off this upper body routine by training the muscles of your back. And to do that, we're going to incorporate a couple of rowing motions. Start by wrapping the band around one foot. Don't worry, you can adjust the tension by either moving your feet closer to you or moving them further away from you. Now, I'm going to tell you to wrap the band around one foot because I have trained many people and I've seen people try just to rest the band around the bottom of their feet. So what happens then when they move, cough, or twitch is that the band slips off and comes flying back towards their face. So trust me on this and be safe and wrap that band around one foot. Have the palms of your hands in a neutral position facing each other. Then pull the band using the muscles of your back. Bring in those handles as close to your chest as comfortably possible. And don't forget to breathe as you do your 20 reps. Inhale in the eccentric phase as you stretch out your arms, and exhale in the concentric phase as you use the muscles of your back to row and bring those arms in. Now, if you're having trouble with this, just keep one of your arms extended to release the tension and row using only one arm for your 20 reps. Finally, we're going to finish with an upright row. Okay, so to configure the band, place it behind your back. Then it goes over the top of the seat and then it crisscrosses under the seat like so. You want to have your palms facing your body and have your elbows pointed out. And then use the muscles of your back to pull upwards. Inhale on the eccentric phase as you lower your arms, and exhale on a concentric phase as you use the muscles of your back to do an upright row. Okay, so let's go for a quick recap. Everything is done seated, so almost anyone can do this routine. We're going to start off with 4 exercises for your shoulders because this is where most people seem to develop an injury. So you're going to do the rear delt pull, lateral raises, front raises, and shoulder raises, all for 20 reps each with a 30-second rest period in between. Then we're going to jump to your chest for 4 exercises. You're going to do the flat press for 20 reps, rest for 30 seconds, and then the flat fly for 20 reps and rest for 30 seconds. Followed by the upper chest press for 20 reps, rest for 30 seconds, and then the upper chest fly for 20 reps. Then you're going to choose 2 different exercises to do for your biceps. So you could do the alternate curls, the tandem curls, or the concentration curls. And that'll be 2 exercises for 20 reps each with a 30-second break in between each set. Then we're going to jump to those triceps, where the same thing, you're going to choose 2 exercises from either the overhead extension, the pull down, or the kickback. 20 reps each with a 30-second rest period in between each exercise. And you're going to finish off that upper body routine by training your back with 2 rowing motions. Now you're going to do each exercise twice, so that'll be 20 reps of the row, rest 30 seconds, and do it again. Followed by 20 reps of the upright row, rest another 30 seconds, do it again, and then you're done. And now that you have finished this upper body routine, click in the description in the link below to try out the lower body routine. Do both the upper body routine and the lower body routine 1 to 2 times per week. And my friend, you will be well on your way to getting in great shape. This has been Mike Gales for Everlasting Nutrition, and if you like these videos, then please click below to like or subscribe. And as always, thanks for tuning in.